Greetings! I'm Zachary Hepner. Pleased to share this Dvar Torah with you from Parashat Tazria, Metzora. Macbeth and Macduff have their final encounter. Macbeth tells Macduff that his effort is wasted. No one of woman born can beat Macbeth. Macduff replies that he was untimely ripped from his mother's womb. The prophecy was, "Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth." Macduff says, "Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou hadst still served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped." Macduff calls Macbeth a coward. Macbeth will be mocked across Scotland if he surrenders. In a meelee, Macduff kills Macbeth. Without Parashat Tazria Metzora, Shakespeare's choice of words would be quite pele-dic. Born of a woman? Is Shakespeare engaging in 21st century gender politics? Is a woman defined by whom has the womb? Not even the womb. Is a woman she who possesses a birth canal? There are different meanings from the etymology of borne. It's from the Anglo-Saxon to bear and give birth, or Old High German to carry and endure and give birth, as in to carry a burden. We'd all agree that even if the baby is not delivered by the mother, the baby is still carried by the mother. And the untimely ripped? Untimely? 21st century USA is different than 1600 England, where today women can schedule their C-sections in any timely manner to coincide with their vacation schedule. 1600 England's C-sections were perfectly on time. Save the baby, bury the mother. Wait for the right time, and the baby will perish with his mother. To be fair, Jacob Neuffer was a Swiss veterinarian and a pig farmer who, around 1500, performed the first successful caesarean section in history on his wife, and they both survived. However, the story was not recorded until 1582. Many historians question the story. Macbeth was written in 1606. Could Shakespeare have been ahead of his time, predicting the planned C-sections? Of course, untimely could mean unsuitable time. It was an unsuitable time for Macduff's mother, who probably died from the birthing of her caesarean wounds. It could mean that his stars, that's Macduff's stars, had aligned him with his current fate, and he was ripped from other astrological destinies. Either way, the word untimely is extra because it bears no relevance on the prophecy that had the rider clause of uninsured caesarean home births. In Masechet Shabbat 135, nimol lishmona, v'chol she'ein imo tuma leda, nimol ishat ki tazria v'ada zachar. Rav Asi stated, any whose mother is ritually impure due to childbirth is circumcised on day 8. Any whose mother is not ritually impure due to childbirth is not circumcised at day 8. As the pasuk says, Isha ki tazria v'yalda zachar v'tama uvayom hashmini yimol besar orlato. A woman whose child is untimely ripped before she begins her dam leida, her laboring blood, never receives tumat leida, impurity from childbirth. Rav Asi says that such a baby is not circumcised on day 8, but as soon as possible. The Talmud is referring to a woman who is in grave danger of even going into childbirth. She might be gravely sick and the doctors need to save the baby or save both. Without going into labor means that she never becomes tameh, and the baby gets his bris post haste. I think that Shakespeare's word of woman born, can explain a very peculiar shita of Rabbi Rosen, the Rogachover, the genius who, parenthetically, gave very few people smicha, but did get ordination to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson and to Rabbi Yechiel Yaakov Weinberg, tzadikim zichronam livracha, both becoming very significant Torah leaders in the 20th century. Every halachic authority agrees that a baby born through a C-section on Shabbat may not have his bris the following Shabbat, but the following Sunday, the 9th day. The Rogatchover held that such a ruling even applies to a baby born vaginally, but with other invasive assistance. I would imagine that would be an episiotomy, or vacuum, or forceps extractions. When discussing this view, by the way, I know of no other mohel in the world who follows this ruling, but while discussing it with Rabbi Avraham Marmerstein, he suggested that the reason of the Rogatchover is nature versus intervention. And I agree with his analysis. Look carefully. Shakespeare was not saying no one of woman born can beat Macbeth, but if the obstetrician is a woman, then it's still woman born. Woman born means without intervention. It's nature versus intervention. The witches don't say man, they say power of man. Man is a sex or gender. Power of man is nature versus intervention. And the irony, Macbeth is being stopped by someone who himself was born from an intervention from his mazalot, his stars. The stars had ordained Macduff should have died a stillborn, but there was intervention, and now Macduff is intervening against Macbeth. There was a time that the uber was yerech imo. The fetus was just a limb of his mother. Having the bris on the 8th day links the baby to the mother. His mother's temple status and her ability to attend and eat at the bris celebration is intricately linked to the timeliness of the baby's performance of his own mitzvot. We are all connected to each other through timeliness, untimeliness, nature, and intervention. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.